So outside of the land of A Journey of Epic Proportions, because I finished like A Journey of Epic Proportions and round 2, ding, 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 Grace and Glory, my second year, I was like, man, I got like 4 months to write another book. Why would we not write another book? So What is Love is not part of the series of A Journey of Epic Proportion. It's its own little entity. It's like understanding what love is. And that's really what I wanted to like finish the year 2021 on. What is love? And so this is why Fierce Epiphanies happened, because I learned a lot about love. And honestly, I thought that as soon as I wrote this book, I was going to fall in love and be amazing and like blah, blah, blah. I did not fall in love. No, I'm good. I'm completely fine with myself. Do I want to fall in love with a random? No, I believe in true love now, which is like extra cheesy, but I'm like, yes, girl. Like some guy's going to be like, you're the one. Let's do this. So, what is love is this piece of paper. So round 2 was this piece of paper. So we talked about that last time. So this time, this video is just specifically about what is love. So let me tell you what I learned about love last year in 2021. It starts with this, and this is not where I went with it at all. I was like, maybe I'll talk about like the theology of relationships. Maybe I'll talk about you're stuck. Maybe I'll talk about burn the house down. Maybe I'll talk about freedom. Maybe I'll talk about like being complete. Maybe I'll talk about deprivation. Maybe I'll talk about the awkward moment. So before this happened. So it was like, hey, Lorette, what's some theology? What's the Lorette theology of love? And I was like, oh, don't make me do this. And he's like, so I had a conversation with my pastor. This is how What is Love started, was this. So I had a conversation with my pastor, and he was like, Lorette, if you don't know what love is, go find and go make your own theory of love. So I'm like, okay. So the theory of relationships is what I wanted to do. It wasn't just about like the true love. It wasn't like I'm going to find true love because I write this book, but I was just like, how do you love? It's just a general understanding of what is love. I seriously didn't know. So, this is like my cute little ride or die, my theory of what is love. So it was supposed to be based off of these, little yellow things. So obviously the theme I'll finish at the end, but okay. The theology of, relationships, the theology of love. So it started with the theology of relationships, which meant like I didn't even have the name for my book yet. So I was like, my pastor's like, make a theology of relationships. And I was like, okay. So number 1, the theology of relationships start with the morality of man states one man, one woman. So I actually don't care if you are in like a man, woman relationship. This is just Lorette's theology. I like man, woman. That's how I play the game. And there's nothing right or wrong about it. It's just my theology. I'm not here to argue. I'm just here to state like, this is what I believe. And it's okay to have a belief that's different from other people. So that's what the first one is. The second one is we, men and women, have marriage duties. So as soon as you get married, you have to do stuff for each other. And I'm like, maybe I don't want to get married. 3, we become the same creature. So when we sleep with people, or when this is about sleeping with people. This is about like true love. This is the theology of relationships. When you sleep with people, you become the same person. So that's what this one's about. This one is do not deprave one another unless agreed upon. Your deprivation is for a season. So like sex is good. Do the sex thing. That's kind of what this is saying, is like, if you don't do sex, agree that you don't do sex. But other than that, like you have carnal nature within you. It's okay to have sex, everyone. That's what that one's about. 5, you being yourself is a gift. You have gifts to give, which I love. So kind of the theology of relationships, the understanding starting of self-love is probably in this little cue card without me even knowing. But like, you're an amazing creature. I want to talk about that. So I was like, this is awesome. Like, you have gifts to give. You are an important person. So I want you to understand that. And I wanted to write a book about that, to be like, encourage and support other people. I was really mean to myself and I hated myself for a long time. So I had to learn what love is, and I had to learn how to like love myself. So 6, the principle of control and carnal nature. We are weak and fragile creatures. We could die at any second. So I wanted to have that one. 7, burning with passion is bad. And there's like a little unhappiness. So don't burn with passion, man. Boop. 8, wife, you are stuck with your husbands. Abstract, because you become them. Soul, God, and spirit. So like, you're stuck with your husbands, guys. Like, choose your own adventure. Who do you really want to marry? Who do you really want to sleep with? Like, woman, you've got some power. That's all I'm saying. 9 was, if you marry a non-Christian, he's covered because he's a Christian. Question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm like, this is the first time I've heard about this. The whole cue cards were based off of 1 Corinthians 7. So read 1 Corinthians 7 and judge away if you want. 9, if you marry a non-Christian, he's covered. I already read that. So like, be who you are, ladies. And like, it's okay to marry a non-Christian. There, I said it. 10, relationships are a place for a person to lay their burdens down. Peace. So like, if you don't have peace in a relationship, don't be in that relationship. Be like, dibs out, everybody. So that's this one. You have your own mission to go on. He has his own mission to go on. So like, this has to do with codependent relationships. And I was in a codependent relationship without knowing, but I'm the one that brought him up to my level. And I don't want to do that again. I don't want to like rescue someone. I rescue myself, and that's it. And it's your responsibility to rescue yourself. We're not designed to rescue everyone. That's ridiculous. I don't like, my mission is different than your mission. My mission isn't to rescue you. That's ridiculous. So I love the whole choose your own adventure. I love your mission in life. So that's what that one was about. 12, circumcised covenant. I just wrote that because that was part of that. And I don't want to talk about that. So I was like, I'm going to write it down because it's part of the, I don't even care. That's just written down. 13, keep God's commandments. Keeping God's commandments count. So there is a huge God in this world. I believe in it. And like, I recovered from a serious heart condition this year. It's impossible. It's a miracle. People don't recover from cardiomyopathy. I recovered from cardiomyopathy. Suckers. So from that, it's like, God's commandments are like love. God's commandments are like care about people. So I'm down with that. It's important. 14, be complete and whole within Christ. So the relationship with yourself and the relationship with God is super important. I love that. This is another cornerstone to how we created the concepts for what is love. Because I wanted you to be important. I wanted to love yourself. I wanted you to love God, and I wanted you to like love other people. So that's how this book went down. 15, freedom in Christ. Freedom is Christ in relationships. So to have true freedom in life, it's to, for me personally, be a Christian and enjoy life caring about other people. So that's what 15 is about. 16, the last statement is God is enough. Oh, sorry, we have to go 16 and then it's God is enough. Relationships are hard work. And this is where I was like, do I really want to fall in love? No, I'm busy running an empire. I'm busy. So then we go to the last statement is God is enough, which I find amazing. So in a relationship, you actually have a relationship with yourself first, and then you have a relationship with God. So 2 Corinthians 5:21, total devotion to God is the only acceptable path. So I'm not telling you to become a Christian. That's how I find that love for me worked. So from that concept, we created the spider. So this is the spider. The spider was based off those cue cards. And then I was like, this isn't working for me. I want something smaller. I didn't want to have so many concepts. I only wanted like 12 concepts. So the spider web became this. And so the chapters are, number 1, grief. I wanted to talk about how love causes grief. And I'm like, it causes so much grief, especially if you really love someone and they die. And I actually just wanted to talk about that concept because it's the disconnection from love. And it still makes me upset and sad talking about it, but it's a process. Love is a process. So chapter 1 is grief. 2 is hate. Love and hate go hand in hand. I'm telling you, if you love something, you obviously hate it as well. That's just polar opposite. I wanted to talk about hate because if we're going to talk about love, why would we not talk about hate? So that's chapter 2. Chapter 3 is the fool. I mean, you fall in love. It's a trip in the first place. So I wanted to talk about that. 4 is the sleeping soul. So within us, we have this quiet inner being that doesn't talk, but I'm like, what does it say? What does your soul say to you? How do you awaken your soul is kind of what 4 was about. 5 was the heart wall. So if you've been in relationships and you've been hurt, you're like, I'm building a wall on love and no one's getting in. So it was, why do you put your heart wall down? Why would you do that? So that's 5. 6 was, where are you, 6? I don't know. I knew that was going to happen. The dance. Oh, it was the flow of life. And like, how do you dance in life? How do you dance in love? 7 was dare to be audacious. I am not audacious in love. I don't love, you have to earn my love, which is not appropriate. My best friend and my ride or die, she loves no matter what. And I love her for it. But like, she's the one that's audacious in love. And my brothers are the ones that are audacious in love. And they love me when I'm stubborn. So that's what chapter 7 was about. Chapter 8 is you're selfish. And I'm like, you better believe you're selfish. And I align to the selfish thought because being selfish isn't a bad word. So I'm like, in that chapter, it's like, be selfish. I dare you to. Go after your heart's desires, your goals, your wishes, your dreams. That's what 8 is about. 9 was, why is it so hard to find these? I don't know. I'll have to like put it in somewhere else. Yeah, 9 is not around. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'll do this right now. I'm going to figure it out. Where is it? Oh, because pause for dramatic effect. Ooh, 9 was the caveman. Yes! 9 was the caveman. So it's love. Hit woman over the head. She falls in love. Done. And I'm like, that's not what love is. So I wanted to talk about the origins of love. 10 was growth mentality. I believe in growth mentality. You're a different person every day. So that's what the book's like, that's what the chapter is about, is what does growth mentality look like? 11 was, let's talk about sex. Oh yeah. And I just wanted to be like, sex. And then 12 is find, meet, attract, close, which I love. 12 was the magic trick. 14 was, oh, we're so close. I don't know what 14 was. This is really hard when I don't know. Oh, 14 was, good thing it's on my desk. 9. Oh, it's in here. That's why. With What is Love, we had to write it on 2 books. So I write books like this, and I actually write them on pen and paper, and then I transfer and I type them out. So I actually read my books twice when I write them. Yeah, 14 is actually the magic trick. So somewhere along the line, it's like, yeah, 14 is the magic trick. So all of a sudden, love is a magic. And you're like, how did this happen? So I wanted to talk about the magic trick. And I knew we were going to finish with never settle. So love is about a continual journey. And when you find the one, it's not about the white picket fence and then your journey is over. The journey starts at the white picket fence. So I love What is Love. Writing it was a journey of frustration and really understanding what is love. So I'm still looking for a publisher. I'm very excited. This was a really good book just to like really quick read. Oh, that's what love is. And like good stories along the way. Every one of my chapters is like a pain point of like, why? And then it's like, fix the pain point. And it's like, yay. So thank you for listening to What is Love?